Hello to my Aquarius. Happy full blood moon in Pisces and happy total lunar eclipse to my Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, get ready to write down some tips of some things that you all can do during this full moon and this full blood moon in Pisces, as well as this total lunar eclipse, okay? Because this is going to help you to review any childhood, ancestral, or family trauma that can easily come up during the eclipse. So first of all, be totally gentle with yourself during this time and stay connected to your body and Mother Earth, right? So if your body is tired, you feel like you need to get some rest, stay home, get some rest, okay? You want to stay connected to Mother Earth as much as possible, right? So the best ways to keep rooted and grounded in your body are through breath work and movement. So maybe you start out your day and going to the gym during this full moon phase, because it's a phase, right? Even though technically the 7th is the full moon and the total lunar eclipse is on the 7th, it's still a full moon phase, right? So if your body feels tired, it could be because you're thinking about some things. This is a full blood moon, your sword energy, and you'll be cutting off some blood energies that have, we'll get more into that a little bit, because hopefully everybody's been keeping a journal. So the best ways to keep rooted and grounded in your body are through breath work and also through movement. It really doesn't need to be anything complicated. So even something as simple as taking 5 mindful and long inhales and exhales, or dancing through a song, or allowing your body to move freely will be a great help, Aquarius. Shaking your body is also a good way of releasing tension and to get back into the present moment, okay? So we are in eclipse season, right? Which can be very, very powerful, can be very emotional time. So first, you will not be putting out your gemstones and crystals during this time. You will not be making moon water, okay? I'll try to put some information on my YouTube, the area where you get all the information there, right? And then also I'll try to put some information about Uranus retrograde, because it's retrograde 1 degree in Gemini. And so again, like I said, people may be trying to talk to you like you're a fool. How come you didn't see this? How come you didn't know that? That kind of thing. You're an Aquarius, right? So we're not going to get into all of that, but lunar eclipses has slightly different alignment to solar eclipses, as it happens during the full moon. As the earth moves between the sun and the moon, it cuts energy flow between these two celestial bodies. So the word is cut, right? And so you can look at this as a time of possibility to get out of an old cycle, to reshuffle your pack of cards, right? We're talking about shuffling cards, reshuffling your pack of cards. So if you've been just kind of sort of being fixated on doing something the same way all the time, this is going to help you to kind of get out of that mundane, I'm so fixated on overthinking stuff. Maybe that was a way of escapism for somebody, but yeah, people are going to wonder, how come you didn't see this and why didn't you know that, and so on and so forth, Aquarius. And so that's not the time for you to feel like a fool, okay? The Fool card is Uranus, right? This is the time for you to start saying, again, you're in human form. You're in human form, right? And so something can feel like a door to our unconscious suddenly opens, and we are able to go in and clean up the house, or like someone dives into a subconscious to bring old emotions and attachments deep from our psyche to the surface to be processed and released, to immerse in healing light, right? So that's what it's all about. It's about healing, right? So you definitely finally cutting some energies off. Remember, you all are also ruled by Saturn. Saturn is you all are ruled by 2 generational planets. Certain things, Aquarius, are not going to see because you're ruled by 2 generational planets. Something has been going on for generations. And an example of that is like if you have kids with somebody, how would you know what's going on in generations in their family if you didn't grow up in their family? Y'all know what I'm saying? Or your next door neighbor, best friends. You think, okay, you going next door to your kids' family's house. How would you know that they got something going on for generations? That's why it's important to slow down during Uranus retrograde, right? Slow down during Uranus retrograde. All right, let's get right into it. All right, let's set the tone. Let's set the tone, Aquarius. All right, so some of the things that you all can do during this this moon, and again, I got to reiterate this if it sounds redundant, because people are so used to putting out their gemstones and crystals during full moon. Do not do that during the full blood moon. Do not Put out your gemstones and crystals, put them in a dark space, because the moon, that blood moon can be chaotic. Think about it, like, okay, if you're talking about blood moon, right? Cutting something off. You usually, a full moon would recharge those, right? You feel supercharged, right? And they feel cleansed, supercharged. Not during this time. That's what you're cutting off. Like, that's what you're saying, okay, I'm not a robot. I'm thinking through this. I need to put the gemstones and crystals away this time. I'm not making moon water this time because I'm not staying connected to, and it's just during this blood moon, right? I'll keep y'all up to speed on all the moons, right? But during this blood moon, no charging your crystals and gemstones, and no making any moon water during this time. But you can ground yourself with mindful practices like journaling, meditation. Oh, that's a lot. That is a lot. We're going to pull all these cards in. Gosh, you got a lot going on. All right. Journaling, meditation, and a time in nature. Get outside. You are valued by your community. I want to make sure you can see it. I am valued by my community. I start each day with a, let's say, excited for what's in store. That's right. You're operating in a spirit of faith. I am divinely guided. I will not wait for today to be a good day. I will make it a good day. I am filled with energy, right? Close out the cycle in love. I love what I see when I look in the mirror, and eagles fly above crows, okay? So that's a lot going on there. I love it for you all, but again, eagles fly above crows. And so Source is saying to you, listen, you got a lot going on. Please, Aquarius, I cannot even reiterate, because on the Patreon side, I'm going to really get into something else over on that side. So thank you for joining me here, and thank you for joining me over there. So I'm going to get very detailed here without, taking up too much of your time. But please, 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 I know if you're watching this, you're an Aquarius. Find out what your North Node is. You are going to feel so happy that you are answering the call in your life. It doesn't matter what your age is, because some people were celebrating too soon. People was clinging glasses and celebrating too soon, celebrating some kind of a victory over you, Aquarius. Get in your North Node. This number 3 right here. Yeah, that could speak to people we're talking about. Oh, we can go ahead and celebrate. We can go ahead and celebrate. That's why I'm trying to head y'all off. Do not put those gemstones and crystals outside at night during the full blood moon phase. During the full phase, don't put them outside, okay? Just bring them in the house. If you keep them outside, or thought about putting them outside, this is not the regular practice, and don't make moon water during this time, right? I'll try to add some, like I said, I'll try to add some sense to it on my community page, and also over on TikTok if you follow me there. And for those of you all who are saying, I never got a chance to see you or meet you, my picture, full frontal, is right there on Instagram. So why aren't we following each other on Instagram? For those of you all who have never met me in person, right? Because I really do like meeting people in person. So, but if you've never met me, my picture is right there on Instagram, right? So anyway, so yeah. So some people, third house speaks to, Gemini rules third house. We're not talking about Gemini, but third house speaks to communication, right? Communication and language, sibling relationships, early education, short journeys, and local environment. And some of you all have had to go a journey alone. This could be me, myself, and I. This could be just you by yourself in spirit. The creator and spirit in you in physical body, right? But 3 people were celebrating something in, because they thought they was going to get a ride on your back, your emotion, through your emotions. No sir, and no ma'am. You're moving on to a softer life. I'm talking to men and women, Aquarius. So get your rest. So this is what a soft life, we turning a corner in a soft life. Okay. So yeah, usually Aquarius, you all may, I've been kind of going down to a lower frequency to help pull you back up, and it has affected my numbers just because I'm trying to help this whole community come back up to a higher frequency. But we about to take off. We going back to the basics, back to the beginning, back to the very beginning, Aquarius. So if you're new to my channel, go back and watch some of the old videos. So we're going back there, right? Going back there. If those of you all who want to take the classes, the tarot card classes, reach out to me directly if you want any gemstones, crystals, oils, anything. I'm making, very powerful bags that you all can take with you. That's going to help you on your journey as well. If you want anything, just reach out to me, 202-460-3205. Let's go. All right. Yeah. Something was very overwhelming. Your gifts are overwhelming. Some people run away from their psychic gifts. Psychic gifts are really just like the clairs. You have clarity in areas. You could have clear knowing, a clear feeling about something. You could have a clear sense of smell. You know, like you may have heard your ancestors say, it smells like rain, even though the weatherman or weatherwoman may have said, oh, today is going to be sunny and bright today. But your ancestors may have said when they were alive, it smells like rain today. Then lo and behold, boom, it's pouring down raining somewhere, because they have that clear sense of smell. So something has come to light. A big secret has come to light. A big secret has come to light. So some people were celebrating a little bit too soon, Aquarius, about you just kind of sort of, oh, this person, we'll put some kind of dark magic on them. We'll make them fall asleep during the day. They won't know about certain things. So people were celebrating, right? This looks like daytime. Some people were celebrating during the daytime. So if you've been pulling something has been pulling on your energy, this may be your north node. Some of you all Pisces could be your north node. Check your birth chart, because things are about to take off for you like never before. Whoever you are, you're about to start flying like an eagle. You will never again be sitting around feeling like you left out of anything. Whoever you are, if you get in your north node, or let me just say your 10th house, right? Because you all rule 11th house. Your 10th house is about your career and your vocation. Please do not go in and quit your job tomorrow, okay? Please don't do that. When you answer the call on your life, you're accepting that, okay, I was called to do certain things. No wonder, something just would not leave my mind. Something kept tugging on me. It was almost like you was nitpicking at something. Like people was like, okay, this person sound like they just nitpicking. They overanalyzing something, because the polarity to the moon card is a hermit card, right? And so something you kept talking about. You kept talking about something, and people started paying attention. Like, okay, we need to find out what is going on behind closed doors. We need to find out what's the secret to all this. How is this person, how do they know this? You answer the call. What I say is Virgo. How do you know something? People were looking at, like, trying to figure out in a physical sense, how in the world do you know certain things? When other people don't answer the call on their lives, that's 10th house is career and vocation. It doesn't matter what career you're in right now. That's why I'm telling people, do not go and just quit your job. Oh, I think I'm supposed to be a healer. Okay, you can still be a healer with whatever your job title is. Don't mess up your money. Like, don't mess up your livelihood because you just discovered that you answered a call in your life. Don't do that to yourself, right? And so, yeah, these are polarity signs. You can analyze things in depth when you answer the call on your life, whatever it is. So find out, not only if you're watching this, you're probably in Aquarius, I'm sure, but also find out what your 10th house is. Go back to your 10th house. Your ruling planet, Uranus, or one of them is now retrograde. A second tip for my Aquarius during this moon is paying attention to finances and material stability. Eclipses, that's why I said you're not going in and quitting your job because you're like, oh my God, I just found out I was called to do so-and-so. Okay, no, you're not an airhead, right? You're a person who is saying, okay, or if you need to start looking for another job, if you are in the process of doing it, don't quit one before you know you got some stability going on in another place. Be, practical about something. Or if you feel like you need to go back to work, right? But pay attention. The second bullet here is pay attention to your finances and material stability. Eclipses can reveal weak spots that need healing. A third thing for you all Aquarius to do during this moon is to embrace vulnerability so it can strengthen rather than weaken your independence. And then last but not least is let your intuition guide decisions, especially where logic feels incomplete. Something did not make sense to you for a very long time. You could not put your finger on it. Why? Maybe because you didn't, this may be the first year you started watching tarot and some secrets started to uncover. Maybe you watched this channel or other people's channels and people were keeping you in the dark about some things that you were not aware of. But some things have been keeping some of y'all depressed and overwhelmed for years. Answer the call on your lives, and I'm telling y'all, I can't say it's going to cure depression. You got a therapist for that. Some of y'all got therapists for that. Go see them. My point to you is that it's going to clear up a lot of secrets when you answer the call. Something about a Capricorn. Capricorn rule, this is right, four pentacles here. Something about somebody had a first impression of a Capricorn. You and Capricorn are ruled by a karmic planet called Saturn. So somebody crossed a line. Somebody crossed a line having to do with a Capricorn. It could have been the person could still be here, you know, or they could have transitioned on. You could be getting some downloads. You could be cracking a case wide open for a loved one who transitioned. You could be cracking a case open, wide open for just Capricorns around the world. A secret just in general, just by learning. Let's say your North Node is, you know, part of it is divination or healing or, you know, whatever. You have access to all the clairs. You've been blessed with, you know, having gifts of all the clairs, right? You may not see things in a physical sense, but you may see it in a dream state. Downloads to your dreams. So you're on top of something. Something was fated to happen. You were fated to find your answer, the call on your life. That's why some of you all, it's been hard for you all to finish projects. It's been hard for some of you all to finish going to school. It's been hard for some of you all to stay focused on jobs. You're so tired on some jobs because you've been getting all these downloads. You can't sleep. That's because somebody has now learning that, okay, it's time to answer the call on your life. It's like the phone has just been ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. And somebody just, as a form of escapism, somebody could have just been hopping in that spaceship and just saying, okay, you know what, I got stuff to do. You know, I got stuff to do. Because remember, you all are ruled by 2 planets, right? Work is a safe space for some people. Somebody may not have known something was going on, but you're in this year 9, and it's starting out with water. Water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds us. So some of you all have relocated. That was the way that you were able to wake up. Yeah, so people are now saying you're feisty because you got a fire up under you. Your air sign put fire up under you. You're inspiring a whole lot of people to do their shadow work. See this cute little cat shadow? You're inspiring a lot of people, whoever you are, to do the shadow work. 2 energies were lying behind. See this lion right here? There's 2 lions, but they were Lying, lying behind your back about something. They were doing secretly in the shadows, right? Lying behind your back, right? And so Source is saying something has now come to the light. 2 family members were doing something, whether they were blood relative, family members, or whoever was doing something behind your back, and now it's time to pull out the sword. This is not the time to overthink it. This is the time to pull out your journal. And I do have e-journals on my channel. Here we have the 8 of Swords. That's why some of you all felt so restricted. You were just somebody's raw energy vampire. This is water right here. Water dried up. Your creativity dried up. You couldn't even focus on answering a call on your life. So let's say if you were an artist, painter or something like that, you may have seemed to some people flighty or fickle. You know, okay, this person starts one thing, they can't even finish something because you were being pulled on. You were being pulled, pulled on like no other. Something was weighing heavy. You couldn't fly high because something was really weighing heavy on your eagle's wings, and you couldn't fly high, right? Yeah, but your ancestors were all around you the whole time, protecting you, making sure that these energies who wanted you incarcerated, who wanted you mentally sitting in a hospital somewhere with a needle hanging out your arm, saying this person, they too feisty, they need to be calmed down, they need to be restrained in some way, shape, or form or fashion. That's what this is. Somebody wanted to do a destiny swap with you. They wanted to have you restrained, Aquarius, and they started partying and celebrating a little too soon because they were doing some stuff in secret. And now something has been revealed. Something has been revealed. Okay? This is the importance of journaling. Please, y'all, journal. Journal, journal, journal. I don't care how crazy it sounds. I don't care. Because some of you all have the gift of automatic writing. You won something. People saying you were on a high horse, but you won something. It's time to do the mirror work. Look in that mirror and say, I know I'm not going crazy. I keep having a dream about such and such. Source, what does this dream mean? What does it mean? What does this dream mean here? Why do I feel like I'm getting fired up about some things and I can't see something in the physical sense, but why does this thing keeps tugging at me? Right? Because the moon brings out secrets. You had some idea, so something is closed out in the spiritual realm. You had some idea who is behind something, right? Talking about 6th house, right? Virgos rule 6th house, right? So find out what your zodiac sign is in your 6th house. You had some idea that somebody was behind something. And in this year of 9, some things are starting to become awake because some people wanted to be familiar. This is where, okay, let me slow down for a second, Aquarius. This is where people get mad at you when they don't know every little thing that you're doing. They must be up to something, because usually people don't get hot, like really, really angry with you if they don't know every little thing that's going on in your life. Okay, usually people are like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry I overcrossed the boundary. That's Saturn. Saturn is a boundary planet. And you say to somebody in a very warm way, hey, listen, I don't feel comfortable talking about certain things, whatever, and somebody gets mad at you. You're just expressing yourself. Remember, Mercury, which is Virgo's ruling planet, was retrograde in Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun. So remember, the sun exposes secrets. Somebody was a part of a secret society with someone else in your family, and they did not want you to know that they were a part of some kind of secret society. And something has been overwhelming. Your gifts have been overwhelming. It's like you just couldn't let something go. And people were getting frustrated, mad, say that you was lying, you was on some high horse, that your karma was going to come back to get you. I mean, all these threats in the spiritual realm, having all these conversations, and people, you don't know what you're talking about, and you lying, and you need to be heavily sedated, like you were going crazy. You were not going crazy. That's when you know you answered the call in your life, with some stuff that you have been predicting comes out. Okay? So this Ace of Wands here lets me know, Aquarius, that you have a fire in you. When you get a fire in you, that fire is lit in you, of that something is significant. You need to pay attention. When there's a person of significance in your family, you need to get to your 6th house. 6th house is ruled by Virgo. This is where you need to analyze stuff almost to you just almost give yourself a headache. So let's say 6 looks like a rounded back and a bulging belly. This could have something to do with someone's kids or parents, right? Analyze that thing till you can't analyze it no more. If you can't talk to people directly, talk that where you should be talking to, creator. This is not Bible study, right? So I'm not, trying to overstep lines of who believes what and who you believe in. But my point to you is that if something keeps tugging on you, that is your moon. It's like, okay, basically it's like your water is getting low. Like a person is like, your energy is getting low. Like a person who is getting hangry, like hungry and angry. Okay, I need to get something to eat, right? So how would you feed your body? How would you nourish your body? Your moon sign. Right? That's why I push birth charts so much on my channel, right? Something is already closed out in the spiritual realm, because you also have the gift of telepathy. And people are trying to figure out how in the world are you communicating with people if you're not physically connected to them. That is a part of a psychic gift. It is like somebody saying, I thought you up and here you are showing up at my door. You never even talked to them. Or I was thinking about you and you called me. And they say, I was thinking about you too. Y'all having telepathic messages, right? Yeah, you're in a very vulnerable state right now, right? But guess what? Source is tearing down every belief. That's what Tower does. You're having a total recall of some things, because Source is tearing down this belief that you had before about your gifts. You knew something was going on behind your back. You could not put your finger on something. You couldn't. That's why some of you all have known, in your office setting, that something was going on. It's something before y'all left a job, right? Y'all are very innovative, forward-thinking sign. That's why some of you all say, "Oh, you're just moving on. There's nothing else here for you. You're moving on," right? The sooner you get comfortable with your calling, whoever you are in your life, you'll realize nobody has any competition. Nobody. If Source called you to it, Source already qualified you for that position. That's the beautiful thing about you being Source qualifying you for a position, right? And so anybody who tries to say, oh, that person is crazy, listen, there's too many spiritual leaders you have heard say that. So what they gonna do? Wipe all of their content off of social media? There's too many people that you can connect with. You're not going crazy. Source already qualified you for something, right? And so you had some idea, you're going through total recall right now, right? You were able to put some things structured, and that's what journaling allows you all to do. That's why I'm giving you all step by step here, so that you all don't feel like, okay, you just all over the place. Okay, you don't need to be all over the place. So 1, ground yourselves with mindful practices like journaling, meditation, or time in nature if you want to write it down. Second thing is pay attention to your finances and material stability, because sometimes you can overthink so much you can forget to pay your bills. Next thing you know, you're sleeping on somebody's couch, and now you're thinking about other stuff, and source needs you focused, or you constantly moving around and you can't concentrate, right? So pay attention to your finances and material stability. Eclipses can reveal weak spots that need healing. Third thing is embrace vulnerability. So if it's an area, your financial situation, you feel like, okay, I have to keep moving. I don't have enough money to do this. I don't have enough money to do that. And so it's like, I need you to rest, because I'm going to give you the answers to everything when you get some rest. Just rest your body. You need to balance this thing out so you can live a softer life, right? I'm going to download these dreams to you, and I just need you to write them down in a journal. Okay, y'all? Okay. A third thing is embrace vulnerability. So it can strengthen rather than weaken your independence. Vulnerability is a strength. If you really is not good with money, this is an opportunity to take a class. Everybody don't know everything, right? So also, fourth thing would be let your intuition guide decisions, especially where logic feels incomplete. Like something just was not making any sense. You're asking why would so-and-so do something behind your back? Like why would this energy in particular do something behind your back? Like something just doesn't make any logical sense, right? Why you? Why would they want you restrained? Somebody you held in high honor. This is somebody you held in high honor, somebody that you put on some kind of a pedestal, but you start having some ideas of who was having warm conversations with who was connecting with whom, because water, like I said, is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it. So earth would be people, right? The people, the physical existence of things, right? So you're like, okay, somebody was shaping their feelings or their belief about you by the people that they were around, but they were secretly hiding these connections that they had, not telling you a thing, Aquarius, not telling you could bringing a tower down on you, saying that you're lying about something. But I'm telling you, when you're operating in your north node, I'm telling you, you answer the call in your life and you start getting structured. And it's coming out as far as money is concerned for you all during this eclipse. So it's just saying it's time to stop using your money to pay for stuff when you have some idea that some people are lying to you about something. Because people are now wondering, okay, well, if you felt like they were lying about something, how would you buy them this? Why did you do this? And because you didn't have anything in the physical. You couldn't feel something. Again, that plays to Saturn. Remember, you all are ruled by Saturn as well. What else, source? Here we have the 7 of swords here. You have some open enemies. It's like you couldn't even get out the door good without people talking about you behind your back. So again, this is about recalling your power. People are now saying you're talking about them behind your back. You could be talking about anybody. Right? Again, too many people have the same thing in common. They join secret societies or secret organizations. They don't want you to know they are part of something because maybe they feel like, okay, you have a horrible belief about particular things. And I always say on my channel all the time, people, that's basically like judging an entire organization by 2-3 people that have done you wrong. Right? You can't judge a whole organization by 2-3 people that have done you wrong. But if the organization is covering something up for these energies because they're too embarrassed that, okay, we can't bring something, we can't bring that bad energy we'll handle something in-house, and it's affecting you or someone that you love, family member, child, or whatever the case may be. No. You're shining a light on something. You're absolutely shining a light on something. So yeah. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. Somebody has a job coming across their path. So congratulations to you all, Aquarius. You have a job coming because something is closed out. Something is closed out in the spiritual realm, and people are now saying that, okay, legally something is closed out in the physical realm. because you made the connection. Heart chakra deals with connection. Love to be loved. It's somebody that you love. People were lying about somebody that you love, trying to keep something a secret, but it was overwhelming for them, right? And it was dragging your energy level down so low. Some of y'all couldn't even get out the bed, switching job to job, living outside, hopping on this couch, that couch, all of this. And so say, no, now it's time to surrender to your gifts, surrender to your calling. Here we have the Queen of Cups here. And so it makes it easier when these energies, these familiar spirits, when you live with them, or when you're living next door to them, or when you talk to them on a regular basis, for them to be familiar, so they can go back and tell everybody, oh yeah, I saw them today, and such and such and such. Oh, I talked to them, and this is what they got going on in life right now, and so on and so forth. The Seven of Swords also lets me know somebody could be going to law school. I don't know who you are. Somebody could be going to law school. It may not be you. I mean, it could be you, but it may or may not. I don't know. Somebody going to law school, but somebody else could be going to school. You working hard on something, but whatever it is you're pouring into yourselves, pull your birth chart, Aquarius. Please today pull your birth chart. Pull your birth chart. If you usually put out your gemstones and crystals on full moon, do not do it this time. Put them in a dark space, and don't make any moon water during this full moon. Yeah. Some energies was telling everybody that you feel some kind of way because you got kicked out of something, or that you feel some kind of way. No, you know your worth and your value. You weren't trying to be a part of something, okay? And so you didn't need to be physically behind closed doors to see something, to know it when you're operating in your calling. Okay, to have some compassion. Some people were being very cold-hearted to somebody. So whoever may have had a key physically to your home, whoever it is, your spouse, your kids, siblings, whoever had low self-esteem, they had not worked on their Chiron, Chiron. The reason why you can relate to this so well, because usually with this you see snow or some form of water, rain or something like that, is because this used to be you. You used to be a person who was being used to find out what was going on behind people's closed doors. So did they get a new house? Did they get a new couch? Did they get a new this? Did they get a new that? You know how some kids, they go over, they get dropped off at people's houses, and they almost like an interrogation. You can't even get home good, some of you all, when y'all was kids, parents or whoever asking you all kinds of questions, what was going on? You couldn't even be a kid. So what's going on behind it? Who was over there? And so and so. Instead of them calling and asking directly, you were the spy and didn't even realize you were the spy. Being used as a spy, you couldn't even be a kid. People too busy interrogating you. Right? So now a whole tower is coming down. And so somebody did the same thing. Somebody did the same thing to your kids or to your spouse or to somebody that you love. And so, but this time a whole tower is coming down. So a generational curse has been broken. It has been broken. Yeah. You learn how to save yourself because you are a star. You know your worth and you know your value. And guess what? Stars shine very bright in dark spaces. The sun is the star, but you shine bright in dark spaces, right? Remember, Leos rule 5th house, right? So a Leo may have gotten somebody to do something to come into your home. Somebody has a Leo sun or a Leo moon, something having to do with a Taurus or a Taurus moon to come into your home. Again, you don't need the time of birth to pull someone's birth chart. All you need is, where they were born and their date. Really, that's it, right? You don't really need the time of birth, because some people don't know, in some parts of the world, they don't know the time of birth to pull a person's birth chart. But if it's your kids or spouse or whatever the case may be, and that they suffer from low self-esteem and they're trying to be a part of something, and they just, maybe they're an only child, or, maybe they're going through, they're an empty nester, or they're about to be an empty nester and they want to, connect with groups and, stuff like that. You never know who is trying to get into something and be a part of something, and what they're being told that they need to do to be a part of something. But you saved yourself. You saved yourself. You have love coming across your path as well, right? Yeah. And people say that you were a snake, right? There's a duality to snakes too, right? So something you didn't feel nurtured in an environment. That's the other side of a snake. When you don't feel nurtured in an environment, you just move on. That's the power of knowing your moon sign. That's the power of knowing your moon sign, right? And so when somebody comes back to you, you can tell that, you know, you've already talked to somebody or saw somebody. You had your sixth sense for you developed when you were a kid. Whoever you are, your sixth sense developed for you when you were a kid. The Six of Cups lets me know you're taking some good memories with you, okay? When it comes to loved ones who wanted to be a part of something, but they're now a part of something secret that you want out of your house. You don't want no dealings with any part of it. And like I said, there was somebody that you held in high honor and high regard who lied to you every single time you talk to them. Every single time you talk to them. And so if anybody is feisty, it would be them. They were, oh, well, why didn't you just ask? If you want to know, why didn't you just ask? You're not playing those mind games. You're not playing those mind games. You saved yourself. You saved yourself. But something is over for good, right? You're just taking good memories with you, keeping your vibrations high. You're not playing those mind games. Why didn't you ask? Trying to put the onus on you. You're not doing the gaslighting, right? So yeah, some people are just, well, why didn't you ask this? You know, but somebody's too busy having warm conversations about you, saying, you know, you're on your high horse, and but somebody may wear a leopard coat, so somebody may be very stylish when they dress. Here you are complimenting all of these energies. This is why I know you took some good. Let me tell y'all, this is the reason why the tower is coming down on people, because you all are known for your friendliness. When you left something, whether you left your job or left a marriage or left a friendship, whatever kind of relationship, whatever kind of a family, blood relative, whoever, you were speaking so highly of people, like you almost bragging about people, like your family was better than everybody else's, but you weren't saying better than. You was just basically like, oh, they this and that, speaking so highly. And people were like, do they even know what the heck is going on here? Do they even know? But when you started waking up, that's when people wanted to have you restricted. That's when y'all getting ready to start noticing. Start looking at your journal entries. As long as you were speaking highly of people and showing people in a favorable light, and oh, I so respect this person and respect that person. And some of these energies are like blood relatives. And like I said, you're not making any disparaging comments about anybody, Aquarius. You're still a very friendly person, but you're now in the know. You all are the I know sign or the universalized sign, but you're now in the know. Something is also closed out. Yeah. But some energy are trying to tie you to something. Instead of them linking up with you saying, hey, you know, you've mastered something in terms of your 8 streams of income. Maybe you're writing a book. Maybe you got a feather line, maybe you got a chair line, maybe you got a hair line, maybe you got a shoe line, you know, maybe you got all these other, you know, candle line, a candle business. Instead of people linking up with you, because we talk about the number 8 here, saying that you've mastered these things, let's collaborate. They would rather create some low down dirty stuff to end you by saying they saving you from something. They rather create some craziness by sending somebody who already felt worse about themselves, or low about themselves, to create some kind of lie about you, to attach you to some kind of. You got to remember, whenever the 7 of Cups connects us with Scorpio, right? And also 8 connects us with Scorpio, 8th house. And then that's the death card. We're not talking about a Scorpio, just so we're crystal clear. But the 8th house, and find out what your sign is in your 8th house, connects us with intimacy and shared possessions. Somebody was doing all of this secretly, right? Sending someone into your home that had a key to your home, right? In the physical sense, to do their dirty work, their cold work, right? Cold-blooded. And this person was sick to their stomach for what they had to do, because what they heard about you. They heard that you were into some kind of sex work, because that's when the moon moves through Scorpio. This is where you do a deep dive into, you know, past relationships where you may have felt like, you know, you regretted dating this person, or you regretted being married to this person, or you regretted, you know, sleeping with somebody. Y'all know I'm not judging anybody. I'm not putting that out there that somebody is into some kind of sex work. Y'all know I'm not judging anybody on my channel here. I'm just saying, my point to you is that some energies, instead of these energies having a warm conversation with you, saying they heard some stuff about you, these are people you held in high honor and high regard. Instead of them being honest with you, they would rather lie They would rather hop on a bandwagon with people who were lying about you. And so, yeah, Source is saying you saved yourself by keeping them out of your life. Some of y'all block these people. Some of you never talk to them again. And so some people are now saying that you're a snake, that you got away with something. Not true, Aquarius. That you no longer are alive to them. They have cut you off. Okay. Listen, that's a blessing in disguise for some of you all. If some people have cut you off, they've done you a favor. Don't you even dare go back to try to figure something out at this point. Some energies are ruthless. You're free. They called y'all every kind of garden tool in the book. And so known to human. And so Source is saying you have a job coming across your path. Because something you have already, I'm telling you, your 10th house, again, you are rule 11th house, but going back to your 10th house is your career and your vocation. Some of you all, it's like you're just gliding right into what you've always been called to do. I don't care if you're a mechanic or a maintenance person, or, like an engineer, a maintenance engineer. Whatever you do, something you've been in alignment with, that is you returning to pure consciousness is what's happening here. And so you're just like stepping right into something you were called to do. So something is going to seem almost easy breezy for some of you all. That's why I say for some of you all, you're going to be able to tell right away if energies are open enemies. Instantly, you'll be able to tell. You'll walk into somebody's job and you'll be able to see, okay, is this person, if you're pouring into yourself, if you're nurturing yourself before you leave your house, this is a person where you're saying, okay, before I leave my house, I got to make sure I have taken care of everything I need to take care of for me before I leave the house. You can walk into an establishment where people are working and you'll know who is a spy. I'm telling you, you'll be able to know, and that you won't even be paranoid. That's how something got closed out, because people now talked to people about this person is very compassionate, and I work around so-and-so people who mirror that kind of stuff, and no, that's not how they are. People have been talking about you now, Aquarius, but in a very high vibrating way. This is why I always say, every time you leave somewhere, people are not talking negatively about you when you leave somewhere. This right here, I know people who are learning tarot, you would hear like, okay, oh, this is not necessarily a good card right here, but think about it, both sides of the number 7. When something is closed out, there's always a relief and there's always somebody who's saying why, right? You're not saying why at this point, because why would be your default. You'd be asking, because it's okay, I need to talk to someone. I'm asking why, what is this and that. You're not asking why. Source is pulling you into a softer life. Y'all learning how to let people cut you off, meaning that if they don't want to be your friend anymore, they don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, okay. Just okay. But beyond that, you're learning how to journal. You're learning how to journal stuff, because you're going to start seeing, okay, information has been downloaded to your spirit for a long time. Yeah. Yeah, some energies definitely want to see what you look like. People was already celebrating about you, Aquarius. Already celebrating. People had already sat around the table. 3 and 7 is 10. This people sitting around the table. Oh, this person is crazy. They're this and that and so on and so forth. But because you answered the call in your life and you are very, very meticulous in how you describe it. This is what I'm talking about when you have psychic energy. When you have psychic energy and you come with just, this is why polarity signs, even though they're supposed to be polar opposite, how you can help each other if you stay at a high frequency. When people say, for instance, when Aquarius say, I don't like Leos, why? Leos rule 5th house. That's a part of your wheel, right? That's a part of your wheel. You may have Leo in your birth chart. Find out why you don't like Leos. It was a particular Leo you don't like, right? Why don't you like Aquarius? There's a particular Aquarius that you don't like, right? We're human beings, right? So is it a part of yourself that you don't like, right? Because if it's all of that, Source is saying, then you need to go ahead and do yourselves a favor and them and remove yourself from the equation. Wherever you are, just remove yourself from the equation until you can figure out what's going on, right? But heal people move differently. Heal people move differently. Some people actually showed you some compassion. You have been begging for compassion for years. All that compassion you've been pouring out to everybody else, somebody is now showing you some compassion. Somebody see, oh, this person is healed. What you talking about? They ain't competing with anybody. They are not competing with anybody. What in the world are you? Somebody, it's like you have already moved on from something. You healed from something that people were trying to keep a secret. Yeah, somebody envies you. You have a copycat. You have 3 copycats copying everything you're doing, just draining your energy. And so now someone regrets lying to you because you kept asking people. You kept talking and asking people, hoping and praying that the people that you love would be honest with you. That's why I'm telling y'all, people can sit there and argue and scream all day long that they cutting you off. Okay, good. Good. If that's going to make somebody feels like they strong, good for them. So at what age did your parents, work on their shadow self? And at what age did you work on your shadow self? So let go and let God. Yeah, let God bring the tower down. You're having a total recall. Get your rest. Move on in silence and move on in peace. Yeah, so take your time to decide for some of you all, but pray and meditate, okay? And so your gifts have actually increased. Your spiritual gifts have increased. So something was in sacral chakra cleanse. This is what I'm saying. If you got gemstones and crystals outside, bring those gemstones and crystals in. An eclipse, a lunar eclipse happens on a full moon, and you're not trying to bring that same energy into this next phase of life for you. You're not trying to, so during this full moon phase, just leave your gemstones and crystals and put them in a dark space. You can cleanse them, under the sunlight, but do not make moon water during this full moon. Hopefully that makes sense to somebody. I'll put some more information about that. Why on my TikTok and YouTube shorts, right? Make a list of pros and cons. Yeah, the new one is extra special. Somebody does have new love coming across their path, and they are extra special, right? Because somebody is really appreciating you. Somebody's a changeling, right? So the energies that were trying to keep something a secret from you, your gifts, the fact that you answered the call from the Creator exposed it. People are still scratching their heads trying to figure out how in the world did you know this and how did you know that, and everybody talking to each other trying to figure out, did you tell them, did you tell them, did you tell them, did you tell them? No, but you can already see the physical evidence of something. You've been piecing some things together. So you have the gift of precognition. This is foreknowledge. You have the gift of precognition. This is foreknowledge. Some of y'all have talked to, now something is going to start making sense as to why some of you all, whoever had a key to your house, it could be your spouse, why some of your spouses was acting a certain kind of way. Some of y'all are going to start realizing why, people all of a sudden want to argue with you. They super angry with you. They couldn't control their emotions when it came to you. Now some things are getting ready to start making sense because you're having a total recall. You're going to start remembering why when you talk to certain people on the phone, they start stuttering and stammering, and they don't have a speech impediment. When you bring up certain things, they can't explain how you would know certain things. What you say about the manager? I don't know, but such said about the manager, when they know good and well they were a part of a secret conversation about you, and they go to lunch with you every single day, some of y'all, and they knew something was coming down the pipe, but they didn't tell you, right? This is on some of your jobs. Again, I'm not talking about my job because, like I said before, let me see. Here we have, you just have a firm foundation and some achievements here. You got a lot of things. Yeah. You got a lot of great things headed your way. Start getting comfortable when these relationships end. I'm telling y'all, if it's love interest and they want to, when you're teenagers, they quit you or in the relationship, let them walk out, please, Aquarius. When people say, okay, that's when source is saying, you're learning how to not go after anything. You feel too fulfilled. You're at the end of something, and this is Uranus right here, Uranus retrograde. You are not a fool. You are not a fool. You are structured and authoritative. Yeah. Somebody had a first impression of you that you would be a fool, that you wouldn't think that somebody could be that close to you that would betray you. And all these people talking about a situation, like you would not figure something out. For some of y'all, it's some of your colleagues. For some of you all, is some of your family members. Everybody's sitting around shifty-eyed, not saying anything, all of this other stuff. I'm telling y'all, Aquarius, the best thing you can do for yourselves is to move on in silence, move on in peace, close out cycles in love, and just drink water and mind your business, right? Yeah. Your ancestors been in your ears the whole time. That's why some of y'all are not shocked. Some people wanted to be you for so long. They wanted to swap destinies with you for so long. Two energies felt like they wanted your life so bad. You were in somebody else's life so bad. Looking for love in all the wrong places. We talking about 6 of Swords. 6 looks like a very nurturing number. They want to be nurtured. And that's going to be people's story. Well, we didn't get the nurturing. We didn't feel nurtured. And out of all the people on planet Earth, 2 people had to find each other through you, Aquarius. Y'all can already find out some family scandals. Y'all can already find out some family scandals. So, that is what I have for you all. But I don't think something is going to be shocking for somebody. The energy I'm picking up from here, I'm telling you all, Aquarius, because y'all are so forward thinking. A lot of times y'all see things and people don't think that y'all see or know things, and y'all just moved on from something. Y'all just calmly move on. Yeah, closure. You needed some closure. Somebody needed some closure on some things. But somebody was being made to feel, horrible since they were little, to find out what was going on in your life, Aquarius, because they were too busy trying to compete with you. The moment you woke up and answered the call on your life, things started coming together, started making sense. It was almost like a magnetic puzzle. The pieces started coming together and making sense, and gave you a very clear picture of what's been going on for a very long time. All of these people who said that, oh, you went off and we hadn't heard from you. That's their justification, Aquarius, because of Uranus, right? You get up your spaceship. People been knowing you to be like that forever. People have known you to be like that forever, so that's no excuse. Yeah. Some people wanted you out in the cold. Yeah. So, yeah, now, but this is them now. They out in the cold. They are out in the cold. So yeah, congratulations to you. Continue flying high. Continue flying high. Keep people out of your business. Once you realize that, hey, you got a feeling somebody's not telling you the truth about something, you're opening up and you're communicating with people and they're not telling you the truth about something. Hey, if they want to keep something a secret, you're not going to keep prying and scrying. You're not a fool. Yeah, you see these black and white on this dog? Your duality, right? Somebody could be getting a dog. Things are coming up for you like roses. But you're keeping people out of your business. Some of y'all had to go outside of your blood relatives to get some compassion. Because all of these people right here, and it's not everybody, let me just be crystal clear. And we're only talking about blood moon here. Somebody was keeping a secret for a long time, right? And it was really making somebody sick to their stomach. But once you woke up, it like lifted a burden off somebody's back. It's almost like holding on to something for a long time. Like, I really don't want to tell them this. It's going to really hurt, Aquarius. You know, this one person. But everybody else, I mean, really? Yeah, so you're in angelic company. Here's your number right here. You're in angelic company. So you're good. You're good. You're embarking on a whole new journey. But yeah, it's almost like I said before. You accepted something a long time ago. Somebody has a you accepted something. What I'm looking at here in these cards here is that somebody is dealing with, because I'm looking at 7 and 4 is 11. When you walk into certain spaces, right? Because 11 looks like somebody plays like good cop, bad cop, right? So somebody plays like they're the compassionate one, and then somebody's not, like the good person, bad person. Like somebody been playing off of each other for a long time since you were a kid. So you could have had one parent that seemed like they were really nice, and another one that seemed like they were just a super disciplinarian, right? Which is not unusual in families. But somebody, something, now you're starting to remember what a karmic couple is, right? Because something was done to the extreme. People would do stuff and say that they love you, right? But it would bring out another kind of an emotion of sadness to you. So this blue right here connects us with throat chakra, and this right here connects with your heart chakra. So when we talk about connections, right? So when you say you're looking for acceptance and love in spaces, for you, because you're a star, you were born a star, you're the type of energy like, okay, well, if people don't invite you, you just off doing something else. You'll go try to figure out the distance between Saturn and Uranus, or go learn something new, or whatever the case may be. But when some people are looking for love, they don't have a problem overstepping a boundary. And some people were hiding some things, and it was making somebody else sick to their stomach. Somebody who really, really loves you is making it, bring them down to the lowest of low places. So when you finally figure something out, Aquarius, that's when for them it was like, oh my God, a huge weight has been lifted off of their shoulders. And it's usually a younger energy. It's like a new person coming into a company, being around vampires. We're talking about the number 8, right? Where everybody is just, void of love, right? Because we talking about this right here. Love has left the room. Like I heard in what was it? I forgot the name of the movie where the woman was like, love don't live here no more, right? So you walked in certain spaces and love don't live there anymore, right? So basically people was like, okay, well, this my definition of love, not agape love. So every time you got back in your spaceship thinking that, okay, you're going off and everything is fine, you left everything fine, Aquarius, people, whatever, if they weren't familiar with where you were and what you were doing, they ain't love you. So source is saying you don't need to be sad. Whoever you are, keep your vibrations high. Answer the call on your life. Aquarius, I can't even tell y'all that I'm trying to help somebody. Answer the call in your life. Answer the call in your life, because people love you. I'm telling you, people love you. Aquarius, right here, people talking right now about your heart. People are speaking up about your heart. When I say you're in angelic company, answer the call. I can't reiterate that enough. Answer the call in your life, because you won. You won as a very nurturing spirit. You're whoever you're, a man or woman, you not only are you known for your friendliness, whoever you are, high vibrating Aquarius, you are a very nurturing spirit, like somebody who genuinely does care for people in their inner child. Whoever you are, you genuinely care for people in their inner child. And some people, it's just transactional. I'll care as long as the checks are coming, or as long as some money is coming, as long as some palms are being greased. Yes. So somebody I don't know. Well, whatever the situation is, Aquarius, you're grateful to source or your creator or higher power. There's some energies. You don't want to deal with certain energies. If that's the kind of energy, if that's the frequency that they're on, because it's all frequency. Something is going to be a relief for you and someone else, right? So yeah, something has been, pulled up at the root. There it is. Yeah. Look for something that makes your life sort of better than average, excites you, or at least did at one time. So you're kind of getting back to you, right? So it gives you a little challenge, keeps you warm, keeps your stress in check, was given to you just because, right? Somebody gave you some compassion just because they didn't even know you, right? And so you could live without, but would rather not, right? So yes, somebody finally wanted to get to the root of something. Somebody finally wanted to get to the root of something. Somebody who was very structured and authoritative. They wanted to get to the root of something to bring something to a closure, Aquarius. And so that means that somebody had to maybe physically meet you or see you or talk to you or be around you or something to see that you enforce boundaries, that you're not overstepping boundaries. And somebody had a feeling about something, that you enforced the boundary, and some people feel some kind of way about you enforcing a boundary. So that's what I have for you all. So I don't know who I'm talking to, but congratulations to you all. You got some great news coming across your path. And I'm so excited for you all, Aquarius. Keep operating in a spirit of love. I'm telling y'all, let people be who they want, where they want to be. If your manager feels like he wants to hire another employee, hey, let them hire somebody else. Don't sit there like some people sit on jobs and they become like a cancer in the workplace, complaining everything. Oh, I hate this job and blah, blah, blah. All of that. Do yourselves a favor. Close out cycles in love. Close out cycles in love. You got so much good news coming across your path. Keep that stuff off the internet and keep these energies out. Source had to expose a lot of stuff for you all to finally get some peace. Watch your energy level increases. After this full moon and you start closing out stuff, watch your energy level goes right back up. Because you're going to be like, I can't believe how much energy I have. Somebody was around that many energy vampires, whoever you are. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this is helpful. So you don't need to move on disappointed. You and somebody don't need to move on from anywhere disappointed. Some energies who wanted to destiny swap with you and somebody. They felt like, okay, if they, let them say anything. You could have said, If somebody said it's sunny outside and you said no it's not, that would have been any reason for them to say, oh, you're dead to me. What? You're just having a conversation and somebody, oh, they were disrespectful. Okay, right. So source is saying to you, yeah, something is closed out. Something is finally closed out. So, you know, thank the Creator. You're finally awakening. So, oh my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. That's what I have for you all. Hopefully this is helpful. See you all in the next video. Hopefully this is helpful, Aquarius. So I'm excited for you all. You got a lot of good things headed your way. Lots of good things headed your way. You and someone else, a lot of good things headed your way. So I'm happy for you. Happy for you. So yeah, you're a prayer warrior. Don't worry about somebody trying to fight you, then trying to, you know, like, and I mean like in a physical fight, arguing with you and all this other stuff. Don't even get into all of that. Don't get into any of that. Like I said, close out the cycle in love. Eagles fly above crows. You're filled with energy, and this is good, positive energy. Start listening to some high vibrational positive things. You love what you see when you look in the mirror. People will try to challenge anything. They will try to challenge anything. So you're not waiting for today to be a good day. You're making it a good day. You are divinely guided, right? You're divinely guided. You're starting each day excited for what's in store. So you're not operating in a spirit of fear, in faith, okay? Hopefully this is helpful. You're valued by your community, all right? Happy full moon, happy full blood moon, and happy total lunar eclipse. I will see those of you all who are over on the Patreon side. I'll see you over there. We're going to talk about some other things over there. And like I said, if you want gemstones and crystals or oils or any products from me, reach out to me. You have my number. It's 202-460-3205. Or if you want to sign up to learn how to read cards, I do teach a class. So reach out to me. You have my number, right? So you just send me a text message. All right. Bye.